Bueno, this lesson is going to cover two verbs that look pretty regular, but don't act very regular when we conjugate them in the present tense. These are the Spanish verbs dar, to give, and ir, to go. As I said, dar looks like a regular AR verb, and ir is as IR as an IR verb can get, but neither one of them is going to conjugate exactly like a regular AR or IR verb would. Let's take a look at these conjugation patterns. Dar is regular to the point of the yo conjugation, which is irregular. What looks a little different with dar as well is that your stem, once you take off the infinitive ending of the AR, the stem that you are left with is simply the letter D. The regular part of this conjugation, we're going to skip the irregular yo for a second, and we're going to skip to tu. That irregular conjugation, the regular conjugation for tu is like the other AR verbs that we have seen, which is das. You had your infinitive, took off that ending of AR, and put on the AS ending that you would for other AR verbs. Usted, él, and ella, da. Nosotros and nosotras, damos. And ustedes, ellos, and ellas, dan. So I said it was an irregular verb, but this part of it looks pretty regular. Yo is a little bit more irregular. We take off the AR, we have our D, we add the O as we often will for a yo conjugation. We also add a Y. So our full conjugation for dar in the present tense is doy, das, da, damos, and dan. So as I said, a pretty regular, irregular verb with just an irregular yo. Ir, however, is completely irregular. If you take off your infinitive ending of IR, you're left with nothing as a stem. We add an irregular stem, which is the letter V. And you'll see why I pair these two verbs together, because our conjugation is yo, boy, tú, vas, usted, él, and ella, va, nosotros and nosotras, vamos, and ustedes, ellos, and ellas, van. So, complete conjugation, voy, vas, va, vamos, and van. It follows very closely the dar conjugation, but it follows no rule that we have seen thus far about any IR verb conjugation. This is one you just have to know what the conjugation for this verb is. When we use the verb ir, sometimes it's a standalone verb, and sometimes it's used as part of a verbal expression with other infinitives. It's not the only one. There are other combinations that we can use. We're going to look at a few of them in this lesson. When we have these combinations, these verbal expressions, we also need to add the preposition a, the Spanish preposition a, meaning at or to, before the infinitive that comes after our conjugated verb. Our main ones that we are going to be looking at are expressions of teaching to do something, learning to, helping to, or our expressions with ir of going to. When we have these combined expressions, we have the preposition a that goes in between the conjugated verb and the infinitive verb that will come next. As you know, the infinitive verb in Spanish already includes the English word to. So if you were doing a direct translation, you would be wanting to double pronounce that word to. In our example of ayudar, a, to help to do something, specifically yo ayudo a cocinar, I am helping to cook, we're not going to pronounce that a twice. It's a word that is not translated into English, but extremely important in Spanish. Same with an expression of learning to do something or teaching to do something. Ella aprende a leer. She is learning to read. Or I could say, ella enseña a leer. She is teaching to read. And we have our expressions of ir a, and an infinitive of something that we are going to do, or someone is going to do. This is one way in Spanish that we can do a future type of tense, that we are going to do something in the future. Our examples here: nosotros vamos a bailar. We are going to dance. We're not dancing right now. We are going to dance. Vamos a bailar. The first verb is conjugated. The second word is not. The second verb is not, and we have the a preposition in between. Same with ustedes van a descansar. You all are going to rest. And something that you will be doing. Notice my translations do not double translate the word a. So you are not pronouncing that twice as tu. One thing to remember, we've done this before, but just a quick review. When we put our articles and prepositions together, sometimes in Spanish we combine them. We have the case of a plus l or de plus l. A and l become al, and de and l become del, as in tú vas al parque. You are going to the park. We do not make these combinations with anything other than the singular masculine article of el. With la, los, or las, the two words stay separate. Yo voy a la biblioteca, ellos van a los museos. It is only a and l or de and l that are combined. So let's review. Can you put together 5 main points about what we've been talking about in the present tense conjugations of dar and ir and the expressions that might go along with them? First, dar is a pretty regular AR verb with an irregular yo form and a stem that just has the letter D. Ir is not regular in itself, but it does very closely resemble the dar conjugation. It has an irregular stem of the letter V, and the rest of the pattern follows dar. Those two irregular yo conjugations, dar conjugates as doy and ir as boy. When we are making the expressions of learning to do something, teaching to, helping to, or going to, between our conjugated verb and our infinitive verb, we need the preposition a. And lastly, a and el become al, and de and el become del, only with the masculine singular definite article. So now let's have you practice. Using the word bank, pull the word, sometimes a verb, sometimes a preposition, to complete the translated Spanish sentence. Let's start with yo. I'm going to Iowa. Yo voy a Iowa. You give a book. Tú das un libro. Ella va, that's right, a estudiar. He is going to study. Your two verbs are already there, va and estudiar. You needed the preposition a in between them. They give money. Ellas dan dinero. We go to the park. Vamos al parque, the combined a and l into al. Vamos al parque. Ella da un regalo. She gives a gift. I learn to cook. Aprendo a cocinar. Again, just the preposition in between our two verbs. And lastly, you do go to school. Usted Va a la escuela. Muy bien. Well done.